Hello and welcome to my channel, Ayash in Germany. Today I'm going to speak about a very important question that everyone asks him or herself if you would like to start a career in science. How can you get a professor job in Germany? And is it easy to get a professor position in Germany or not? So I'll explain everything. I'll explain about the overview of the work in science in Germany. I'll explain about the steps you have to achieve it to be a professor, and about the barrier and obstacles you have to overcome, and in the end I'll give you some advice from what I'm seeing around me. So stay tuned and let's start. So you have a dream you would like since you started working in science, or you have a passion about science and you would like at the end to reach the goal that you like to work as a professor in the academia, in the university or a research institute, teach and do research. So we are speaking here about the situation in Germany. So before everything, I have to speak and tell you about what is the overview about the science work here in Germany, how it is classified and how it is categorized. So firstly, I have to tell you that about 72% of the people working in science here in Germany are working on temporary position, which means are short-term contracts. These short-term contracts ends after a while. So 72% are working in short-term contracts. Those people are PhD students, postdoc position or whatever, or even lab heads. Then only 14% of the people working in science, when I mean science, all field of research in Germany, in university or in research institute, in all fields. Only 14% are having a professorship position. Here in Germany, there are three types of professorship position: W3, W2, junior. W3 is the full professorship, W2 a little bit less, and junior. This is only 14%. And another 14% to complete the 100% are working on permanent positions, but they are not professor. So they are only lecturer, not professor, but permanent. Only 14%. So you have to keep these statistics in your mind, because if you compare, for example, to the USA and America, it's completely different. Like in America, like 80% of the people working in science are working with professorship, and only 17% are working on short-term short-term employment. So this is like statistics I got it from certain research on the year of 2017. So there's a big difference. People working in Germany is mostly on temporary position, and not like in the USA. More people are working as a professorship, maybe because of the differences, because also the 80% in USA you have something called full professorship, you have something called associate professorship, you have something called assistant professorship, and below that you are like a postdoc or whatever. But there is like only 17% in USA are working on temporary or short term. Or I would like to be not to be very accurate, I would say that what the statistics said that 80% are on professorship position and 17% not professorship position, maybe a permanent or not, I'm not sure. But what's more important here, let's speak about Germany. What we are sure that 72% are on short-term employment, and only very few percentage are working in professorship. And this is like something very well known here in Germany. Everyone working in science is knew about it, regardless about the accuracy of the information about the USA. But in Germany, yes, very minute amount are working professorship, and maybe every professorship announced 200 applicants are applying, and most of the people are working in Germany in science. As I said, 72% according to these statistics is working in short-term contracts or temporary contracts. This is the first thing that you have to keep in mind before everything. This is number one. So and speak about Germany. So number two is, what are the steps that you have to achieve to be eligible, or like to be I would say to achieve the requirements needed to get a professorship position. So first of all, you need to have your PhD clear. Then you have to work in a postdoc position. After working in a postdoc position, you need to do either something called habilitation, or you need to be a junior group leader, or there are other equivalencies to that. But for example, a junior professor, like a tenure track. Habilitation is something like that you have to supervise certain, it's like like a requirements that you have to do, which includes like supervising PhD student, doing some publication, doing some teaching, and at the end you have to do something like a thesis, something similar to the thesis, like a research thesis. You have to write it, or something like a written topic, summarizing what all you did, and you defend it in front of a professor or whatever. This is habilitation. Or you have to be a junior group leader position, or you can go directly also through the tenure track of junior professor, so group leader or professor. So you have to achieve those things to be able to apply to a professor position. As well, of course, all these things you have to have a good publication records, either in high impact factor or many publications. You have to have grants, be able to get grants, and you have got grants, for example, for research, for PhD student working underneath you. You have to have a record or experience in teaching. You have to have high performance during your PhD. You have high grade during your PhD. You finish your PhD with high grade. All these things you need to do, so you are qualified legally to apply for a professorship position, especially the habilitation, or at least being a junior group leader. So this is the steps that you need to achieve. Something very important here I have to mention about barriers and the obstacles that you will face to reach a position. First of all, there is a rule here in Germany called the 12 years rule. What is the 12 years rules? You have 6 years to finish your PhD position, and another 6 years to do postdoc position. So you have 12 years you are allowed to work with temporary contracts. So let's say you finish your PhD in 6 or in 4, so you have in total 12. So you have the rest of these years you can work in any research institute or any university on temporary position or short contract positions, temporary. After those 12 years, you are no longer allowed to work as temporary, and you have to find a permanent position. So this is the problem, because once you finish the 12 years, then you have to find a permanent. If you didn't find a permanent, you are not allowed to work as temporary, even if there is money for you. There are some exceptions. For example, if you have a children, like one children can increase this 12 years with 2 years. If you did like part of your research in industry, it's not counted in the 12 years. If you went outside Germany to do some postdoc position wherever you would like, it's not counted in the 12 years. So this is all not counted. So the 12 years are counted only inside Germany. Outside it's not counted, you still have your years in Germany. But at the end, after finishing all that, and you finish the 12 years in Germany, if you like to have work in science in Germany, you have to work for a permanent position. The only way after that to work in temporary position to find a position that is funded by a third party. This is very important, because usually when you work as a group leader or whatever, it's funded from the university, from the institutes. It's not a third party. You are only allowed to work as temporary after the 12 years if it's a third party. So this is a very complicated issue, because many people have a lot of funds for their own research, but the problem is it cannot be hired anymore with the university or the institute, because the 12 years passed, and their funding their salary are from the university. It's not a third party, so you are not allowed to do it. Actually, this rule was done in order to make it easier for the people to get permanent position, but it's not really happening, because to give people permanent position, you need to have permanent position available. If it's not available, you will not be able to get it. And as we said in the beginning, the professorship positions are very limited, and as well as from statistics said that only 14% can work as have permanent position in Germany, which are not professorship. So it's very limited. So this is the dilemma here. So you have to take care and think about that before doing anything. So at the end, I would like to give you an advice. So if your dream is to work as a professor in Germany, then you have to consider all this stuff, make it smart. For example, do a lot of postdocs outside Germany, so it's not counted in the 12 years. Do some work in industry, so it's not counted in the 12 years. And then at the end, you have the rest, whatever left for the 12 years to work, and produce papers and whatever, and try to get the chance to have a professorship, which is very, very competitive. But if you would like to come to Germany, do PhD and do postdoc, and then you are traveling all over the world, postdoc here, postdoc there, another city, another country, and then look for professorship outside Germany, then this is not a problem. The only problem is that if you are seeking a professorship inside Germany, then this is a problem, because this is only for Germany. So it really depends on you what you would like to do. Of course, Germany is one of the best countries doing research, state of the art with high technology. This is for sure. So if you like, I always encourage people to come and do PhDs. And then if you like to work in industry, then this video is not for you. Then you don't have any problems here, not restriction. This restriction only for the science. But if you like to be in science, you have to consider staying in Germany. You have these things in mind, plan it well, and then it will be so competitive. If it doesn't matter for you to stay in Germany or find a professorship elsewhere, then no problem. But my advice, if you like to stay in science in Germany until the end of the year, you have to be very passionate about it to be able to overcome these obstacles and barriers and a lot of stress coming ahead. So this is very important. As I said, what you can do postdoc outside Germany is not counted. Do a lot of publications. You have a high record of publication. Start to be a group leader somewhere else, and you have to supervise a lot of people. Get your PhD, do your habilitation of being group leader, and then continue in Germany where you have those years still, whatever. If you finish your PhD in 4 years, 5 years, then you still have 7 years left. As these years, you continue doing science and hunt for professorship or permanent position, which are so limited and highly competitive. Or work here, whatever you like, and then go outside and look for a professorship elsewhere. So the statistics I said is very, I got it from certain topic or research for the year 2017. It was about Germany, and for America I'm not sure if it's very accurate or not, but this is not our topic here. Our topic is Germany. So the statistic was correct, and also it's not only about statistics. I had a lot of, because I'm working here doing a PhD, you speak with a lot of PIs, investigators and group leaders. They all say this is a problem really happening. You even take some seminar or webinar about how to complete in science, life in science in Germany, and they always mention this problem. So it's something known. So we are sure that this is really happening on the land of reality here in Germany. Outside Germany, I'm not sure, but it seems that in America it's not easier. Don't misunderstand me, not easier to take professorship, but maybe professorship positions are more available than here with availability, which make it, of course, you are also high competition there, but the position itself is more available, or it's available more than here in Germany, where most of the people are working with short-time contracts from the majority of people working in science. So it's just like, I hope you liked the video, and I hope you enjoyed and you got informed about the situation of working in science in Germany. And best of luck for you and for everyone, and see you next time on my channel, Ayash in Germany. Bye bye.